This is the story of how I spent $50,000 making an indie game, how I lost faith, killed it, buried it with my own hands, and how I recovered. Of course, I never planned on burying this game. The game was called Father, and honestly, it was really cool. I loved it. It was a classic FPS about an old man looking for his daughter in the ancient, haunted burial grounds of the Garden of Eden. It's got a bizarre story, it's got a ton of creepy religious themes, which I love in horror games, a cool character dynamic between a curmudgeon father and his rebellious teen daughter. It's got spooky enemies made out of fruit from the Tree of Knowledge of Good and Evil, demonic cultists that worship Eve. What's not to like? I was all in. I live streamed this game, sometimes daily. You guys were all in, you hung out with me during my live streams. I even hired a 3D modeler, got some help with the sound, music, level design, code, and even found an intern. I don't care that you live in Oklahoma. Get your ass in the car and bring me my coffee. Trust me, I'm actually a really nice boss. In fact, I'm so nice that I wanted to offer you my free 2D game kit. I used this exact game kit to make a game for PewDiePie. It's totally free and the link is below in the description. It's my treat to you. Oh, and while you're below the video, subscribe for more indie game development videos and devlogs, and leave a comment about a game that you quit and why you did it. So it was happening. The game was awesome. We worked on it for like 6 months straight. And ultimately, it was even showcased at GDC. But 3 things suddenly happened that crushed my spirit in less than a week. And after those 3 things, I buried Father. I'm quitting, Father. I'm getting out of here. Oh no. Around $50,000 of me and my team's paychecks gone. So what were those 3 reasons? Why did I quit Father? The first reason is kind of a personal one. Basically, there was some people in my life who made me feel kind of insecure. I mean, have you ever felt really strange, really awkward, really off-putting to people? I feel this way a lot, especially in high school. My name is Thomas Brush, and I thought it would change. I'm 31 now, and I still feel this way. I'm pretty good at coming across likable in videos. I've got a $2,000 camera, 3-point lighting, the Joe Rogan microphone, but when all of this is off, things can get awkward fast. Hi, Chris. It's Thomas. Yup. I was curious if you wanted to get dinner or go get some beer, bro. Do you believe in God? I mean, that's just my MO. And combine this with a career of making strange horror games about, I don't know, the Garden of Eden, I found myself feeling isolated from normal people in my local community, and frankly, kind of unwanted. Why? These feelings left me questioning everything, even my game. The second reason was a simple rejection from one publisher. I didn't even formally pitch Father. I just asked the publisher their thoughts, and I was given a thoughtful response and ultimately a rejection. Now here's a quick tip. Just because a publisher rejects your game doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's likely your game doesn't fit well in the publisher's portfolio, or maybe they don't even know how to sell a game like this. Now it's likely that there are other publishers out there who would love your game, and we'll talk about that towards the end of this video. I have some good news for you. These 2 reasons birthed a third reason, and that is the imposter syndrome. You fraud. According to Wikipedia, the imposter syndrome is you're a fraud and a piece of shit. Just quit your game, you dumbass. It doesn't matter if I'm on my 3rd commercial release, I'm gonna feel like a fake. I'm gonna feel like a fraud. This is how it goes. The imposter syndrome is so normal. It's especially normal for indie game developers.
Oh, everyone deals with that. Every time you make a status shift as you move upwards, of course you have imposter syndrome, because when you first make a transition into a new role, you are an imposter.
My brain told me I was creating a silly game with a silly premise. It told me I wasn't a good project leader. It told me I was wasting time, money, and that I better stop now before it's too late. So I hopped on Discord and ripped the Band-Aid off. I told my wonderful team that all their hard work was shelved. I was devastated. I was honestly really disappointed in myself. And when I'm disappointed in myself, I usually call my dad. And that was that. Father was buried. So we moved on to a completely different game. Like a completely different game. It was a game about a little dog. Now I was convinced that this was the path for us. Fun little doggies sell better. Violent shooters aren't really marketable. People don't like guns. Guns are bad. Blood, bad. Monsters, bad. And so my team reluctantly moved on to working hard on this dog game. Don't get me wrong, the dog game is freaking awesome. I love it, and we're gonna keep working on it. But there was this tiny little voice in the back of my head, perhaps, I don't know, an echo of that confidence that I had at the beginning of Father's creation. And this voice reminded me of why I started the game to begin with. This constant dialogue of confidence and insecurity, it kind of created this never-ending, maybe you would call it a for loop. I didn't know something was wrong, but my wife did. We were actually on our way back from hanging out with some friends. She told me that, Thomas, you're anxious all the time. I told her I no longer struggled with generalized anxiety, that I cured that a long time ago with fitness and healthy eating, and we moved on. Of course, a week later, I realized she was right. I was in a constant state of feeling regret about dropping my previous project, wasting money, letting my team down, insecurity about this new game, constant confusion about why I felt confused and insecure on a daily basis. It was a mess. So I looked for a solution, and I found it in a gummy. Now, don't get me wrong, it's totally legal, and obviously I don't advocate for this kind of thing, but I'm just gonna be honest here and say that Delta really worked for me.
You think you know how the world works? You think that this material universe is all there is?
Now, obviously I'm exaggerating here, but it does calm me down, and my brain stopped spinning. I just sat quietly, watching Severance in the cold dark of my bedroom. My brain was quiet, nothing was there, I could breathe. I fell asleep and woke up. My anxiety, my self-doubt, it was all gone. I felt like I could breathe again. I felt like myself again. And I decided to just go play the Father demo one last time. I opened up the GDC demo, and honestly,
Where are you? Eve!
I loved it.
Eve!
The combination of taking a couple months off and a subtle boost of, relaxation, spurred on by my tasty treat, transported me back to my old self. The one that actually made games, for fun and didn't worry about marketability and profit margins. And that's when I walked into my office and I made perhaps one of the best decisions I've ever made. After playing the Father demo, this new version of Thomas, or I guess the old Thomas, felt the urge to just quickly email dozens of publishers. So I found their email addresses, and within an hour, I had emailed dozens of publishers the Father demo and the pitch deck. And for those of you who don't know, a pitch deck is just a website of your game's trailer, a demo, and some text explaining your vision for the game. The email responses immediately began popping up in my inbox. Offers, conversations, meetings, ecstatic publishers across the world wanting to publish Father. They loved the game. But the game it's religious and dark and violent. It's about the Garden of Eden. You guys don't want this. I was still underselling my game while I was pitching it. It's crazy. The things I was super insecure about during those 2 months, like the retelling of a story from the Bible, those were actually the things the publishers were thrilled about. So here I am, I have my confidence back. We haven't signed with a publisher just yet. We're still talking to a few. But I am confident in saying that we're making Father, and it's going to be freaking awesome. I want to thank my team, and I also want to thank you guys for just kind of bugging me all the time about Father, because a lot of you have been wondering where it is. It really helped me just reconsider ditching the game. So thank you so much. But it's not over. We're making this thing. Be sure to download the game kit below. It's totally free, and wish list Father. I'll talk to you later. Cheers.